Hello, friends. I would like to welcome you all in my next podcast, Real Talk with Raman. In this podcast, I bring a lot of personalities from different fields. Either it is sports, health, youngsters, education, many topics we touch on to this. And my endeavor always is to bring you nothing but the best. So today, I am introducing another amazing personality. I would not give you the name of that personality. I will give him the chance to introduce himself. So, my friend, how are you?
Hi, Raman. Good to see
We
you.
lovingly call you Kerry.
Yes, Kerry Lee Crawford, the guy who gets it done.
Perfect. That's great, Kerry. So, Kerry, first of all, welcome on this podcast.
Yeah, you know what? I've watched a few podcasts, and I really enjoy it. And you've had some big names, so I feel like, all right, I feel very humbled at the opportunity to sit down on the magic couches, right, and to have some dialogue, some discussion.
That's great, Kerry. So, Kerry, first of all, I would like to ask you, give me a little bit of your introduction. What has been your background? Where do you come from?
Yeah.
And, whatever you can tell me about yourself.
Again, thanks for the opportunity to hang out with you guys. I am most proudly Canadian. My mother, part Mi'kmaq or First Nations Canadian. My dad's dad migrated here from the land of Barbados, and they met in Nova Scotia,
Wow.
Canada. And so my grandparents married in the late 1920s, and certainly I am a byproduct of my father's he had 7 siblings that they grew up in Nova Scotia with, and so certainly from Nova Scotia moving to Toronto. Myself, I was a big basketball guy. I grew up loving basketball and music. And what I noticed about both basketball and music was the fact that it brings people together.
Right.
Music brings people together. Sports brings people together.
Yeah.
And food. I'm not very good at cooking. So I just steered towards music and sports.
Yeah.
And so I did play. I went to the U.S. for college, played D1 basketball over there, came back to Canada after an injury, and ever since I've been doing 2 things. One is broadcast. So
I see.
I had my first radio show. I'm not going to say the year because then that will date me a little bit, but we'll say that I've been in the industry for more than 25 years on radio. And
But you look 18.
See, that's, tell me more. Go ahead. But more than 25 years.
More than 25.
From 91.5 CJAM in Windsor, Ontario. Shouts out to the Windsor family, to 105.5 FM in Toronto, to commercially on 93.5 Flow FM in Toronto, G98.7 FM in Toronto, CBC 99.1 FM in Toronto. And and presently you can see me on FIBA Television, Canada's first Black-owned television network, where I am also in the business office. So I say that I'm on camera, but also I'm behind the scenes. So I have
Fantastic.
a great list of accolades and things that I am able to do on a day-by-day basis in the broadcast world. Yeah.
Great, Kerry. That's such an amazing history. You have actually gone back to a couple of your generations.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. What's your grandfather's name?
Last name is Crawford.
Crawford?
Yes.
What's the first name?
So his name is Evro. But what's interesting, we had a long discussion about that, knowing your history, and especially because he passed away long before I was ever born.
No, but I want to ask you something else.
Yes.
What is your grandfather's father's name?
Yeah, not a clue.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
See, this is what happens in the normal life.
Yes.
We most of the time know who our father is and who
Yes.
our grandfather is.
Yes.
But we don't know who our great-grandfather is. And I've tested it, and I would ask this question to all the listeners and all the viewers today. Do you know what is your grandfather's father, your great-grandfather's
Yes.
name?
Yes.
Yes, there might be 1% chance that some people will tell that as well. But there is 100%, or I would say 99.999% chances you would not be able to tell you what is your grandfather's father's name or great-grandfather's
Yes.
father's name.
Yes.
So let me ask you, you might have heard about Mark Zuckerberg. You might have heard about Bill Gates. You might have heard about,
Yes.
like, all these big shots.
Yes.
Just imagine how many of their generation gonna remember their name. At least next 10, 15 generations.
Absolutely.
So my point here is,
Absolutely.
guys, it is very, very important what we do in our life that at least 5 of our generations, they remember us.
Yes.
So what if Mark Zuckerberg's great grandson's son
Yes.
will have his picture posted
I love that. No, I love
at
it.
the front of the house
There should be and a statue.
and a statue,
Yeah, and a
right?
statue.
So
Absolutely.
what do you think about it, Kerry? What we should do in our life that we reach on to the level where our great grandson's son remembers our name?
Yes, and celebrates it.
And celebrates
Yeah, celebrates it. And I think it's so important that a tree without its roots cannot stand.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's so important that we take this time in this life to plant our roots as deeply as possible so it stands and it grows as high and as many things as possible can be grown from those roots and branches and what have you. And so I think we talk legacy.
Absolutely.
And I think that for me, I love the thought of bringing people together. I feel like one of the things I love most after traveling and living in different parts of the world, the things I love the most about Canada is truly how much we celebrate other cultures. And I think the world could learn a lot. I mean, of course, we're not perfect, right? But I think the world could learn a lot from Canada. And I think that for me, when I think legacy, it's about bringing people together, not orange people or green people or purple people or black people, or just people.
Yes.
Do you love? I love you. Love your parents? Yeah, me too. You love your kids? Me too. What can we do to bring people together?
So that gets me onto a question, Kerry. You have been actively involved with the youth.
Yes.
So we have to start thinking when we are young.
Yes.
That, okay, how I'm going to give direction to myself, how I'm going to give direction to my life and my career.
Yes.
So that by the time I reach 25 or 30, I know what I'm doing in my life.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think that is what is going to make us going on to the right path. But that doesn't mean age is just a number. There are wonderful examples in the history,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
Where people have started their career at the age of 50 or 60 and they have become
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm not only talking about entrepreneurs. I'm talking about, because you are actively involved in basketball.
Yes.
So, LeBron James.
Yes.
Think about it. How many generations going to remember him?
Yes. Absolutely.
When he started his career. He did not start his career when he was 35.
Nope.
He started putting his energy. He started giving time to something positive, which was basketball, at a very young age.
Absolutely.
And that is what makes the LeBron James.
Yes.
Am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what comes to mind when I think about that is LeBron James as a 5 or a 6 or a 7-year-old, he may have had passion for basketball.
Absolutely.
But here's my point, that there had to be adults,
Yes.
whether parents or people within the community, coaches, that saw the passion of that young person and provided them. Like LeBron didn't open the gym, right? He didn't say, hey, put me in the gym. There were people in the community that saw the need for young talents like LeBron and gave them the opportunity to pursue, gave them the tools, opened up the gyms, gave them the shoes and the basketballs and to be able to allow them to horn that talent. And this is what we seek out to do. When we talk about legacy, it's about, listen, I don't know what you're going to be in the future. However, my job, I feel, is to give you the best possible opportunity to succeed.
Yep.
Right? And so that's what we do.
But let me ask you one question. LeBron James belongs to a multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire family?
No.
No. That's another important point of life. Guys, stop cribbing about that you are born in a poor family.
Yes.
You're born without resources. It doesn't really matter.
Yes.
If you have that zeal and passion,
That's right.
if you really want to do something in your life,
Yeah.
you'll find out your way.
Absolutely.
If you are making excuses, thank you very much.
Yeah.
End of the story.
Yeah.
You're not going to lead your life anywhere.
Absolutely. And you know what's interesting to me about that is that the same incident or the same excuse that one person will use as to why they can't is the same motivation that another person will use as to why they did or why they can, right?
You have actually pointed out something very interesting. I'll tell you a story onto it. So there were two guys. One of them, he was a very heavy drinker. and was like, not doing anything in his life. And there was another guy, he was not drinking at all. And he was doing fantastic in his life, great business, great family and everything. And guess what? They both were brothers.
Okay.
So, one of the journalists, like, you are in the
Yes,
media. So
yes.
one person like you, he went to them and he was like wondering, like, these two guys,
Yeah.
they got the same upbringing,
Right.
same parents,
Yes.
same atmosphere.
Yes, yes.
Why they are so different? So he thought, let me go and check with them.
Yes.
So he went to the first guy who was drinking heavily and asked him, buddy, I have seen you are drinking heavily. Where did you learn all this?
Right.
He said, I learned it from my father. He said, how? He said, my father was a heavy drinker. So I thought, you know what? That is the life I should lead.
Right.
So then he went to the other brother who was not drinking at all. And he asked the same question. Like, that you
Yeah.
are not drinking at all. You have done great in your life. You have a fantastic family, great thriving business. Where did you learn all this? And he said, I learned it from my father. And this journalist
Wow.
was shocked. He said, how come you learned it from your father? He said, I saw my father always like, drinking, beating my mom.
Right.
And, we were very poor. And
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? This is not what I'm going to do with my life. So think about it. It's
That's
the
amazing.
same parents, same
Same
conditions,
experience, yeah.
same atmosphere, same circumstances. But one person is learning,
Yeah.
I should not do this. And the other person is learning that I should do this.
Yes.
So this
conforming.
story, I think, tells us it all depends upon us what we want to do with our life.
Absolutely. That's amazing. And that's what I think about. It's what you choose. Like life is about choice.
Yes.
The decisions and of course committing to those choices and decisions. I always say, when we talk to the kids, when we coach, we say that, listen, I really want a six-pack. Like I do. I'm not lying. I would love to have a six-pack, but
Yeah.
you can't just say you want it. Right? You have to commit to the process of what? Maybe eating right, maybe working out. I clearly have a little bit of issues with certain places that I like to eat. Maybe I eat a little too much junk food, but here's my point. If you want it bad enough,
Right.
you will do it, and no one could do it for you.
No one can do
right?
it for you.
And so I appreciate any opportunity that we have to. You can lead a horse to water, but you
Yeah.
can't make him drink.
So
right?
can I summarize it in one line?
Sure.
Dream without action are just dreams.
That's right. Absolutely. Right. They're just things that are made up in your mind. And the
Yes.
thing is, if you don't have a plan to action it, right?
Yes.
We talk about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. His dream was more than a dream because then he took that dream as inspiration and then he walked out in that dream. We
Yeah.
say faith without works is dead.
Right.
And what that means for us is that you can have faith, but if you don't have works, if you don't put in the work into what you're faithful
Yeah.
in, then it is all for naught.
Absolutely. So, Kerry, in entrepreneur words, they say people plan to fail. But I say, no. People plan very well, but they fail to act on it. And that is what the
Yes.
biggest reason of their failure is.
Right.
Right? Now, Kerry, you are actively involved in sports activities as well.
Absolutely.
Especially like basketball. I personally am a firm believer that sports is one of the best way to teach life.
Absolutely.
You learn everything in sports. You learn hard working. You learn perseverance. You learn how to be disciplined.
Yep.
You learn how to put teamwork together.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Consistency.
Absolutely.
So I am a firm believer, especially from the young age, we should get involved in sports activities.
I could not agree more because I call it's low-lying fruit, right? Now, we know that there's things that we can do, like we have to know our math and our English and whatnot. We know how important education is,
Yes.
right? But sport as a microcosm of life, I always say this. LeBron James could be the best dunker, the best, dribbler, the best passer. If he cannot communicate with his teammates,
Yes.
if he cannot take instruction from his coaches,
Yeah.
if he doesn't learn those necessary lessons in order to translate his intention with his action, again, you just said it. It's not enough to have the vision. You have to be able to action it out in a very specific way. And when we teach kids that from a young age,
Yeah.
it helps them to acquire that discipline. Everybody wants to be a winner, right? But are you willing to do what is necessary? Are you willing to invest what is necessary? The time, the sweat, right? You're going to be tired. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot. You know, your friends are going to be out there hanging out, having fun, and you're going to see them and, oh man, they're riding their bike. But you know what? If you put the work in, when I always tell kids this, it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Your success is guaranteed. People say, well, will I? No, it doesn't mean that your success will make the NBA. Maybe that's not your pathway. But when you engage and commit, the Mike Sport is a microcosm of life, guarantees your success,
Right.
as long as you commit to the process. And that's why I say that if success and happiness was easy, everybody would be successfully happy.
Yeah.
The reason there are so many miserable failures out there is
Right.
because people, they know they have the potential.
Yes.
They know they have the talent, but they didn't have the discipline and the commitment to stay, the fortitude, the mental fortitude to stay on that pathway to pursue it. They quit
right.
on themselves, and that's why people are mad, because you know what? I knew I could do this, but I just didn't have the discipline. That's how I feel about not eating fast food. I'm like, I know I shouldn't eat fast food.
So, Kerry,
And
that sport discussion reminds me about the fantastic event which we have done last year.
yes.
Save Max Pan Canada Games.
Amazing.
How did you find that?
The thing I love, and again, I think I might have prefaced it earlier, food, music, sports. It brings people together. So the thing with the Pan Canada Games, and again, the thing that I think makes Canada the absolute best place in the world to live, America, eat your heart out, is the fact that we really, as a community, come together.
Yeah.
And when I saw the Pan Canada Games last year, I saw every walk of life, ethnicity. It was just people. Do you like basketball? Do you like cricket? Do you like soccer? Do you like? Well, come hang out, guaranteed that you will have a great time. And then, of course, having NBA players there and having TFC or Major League Soccer players there and having these people knowing and identifying that Brampton is such a special place and them wanting to participate, having Toronto Raptors there wanting to support because
Yep.
they believe in the community and they believe in the vision and they believe in the importance of communities that play together, stay together.
Yeah.
I feel like it's vindicating. It's like you live in an amazing community,
Yeah.
but then when you have people from outside the community come in and say, "Oh my goodness, this is so incredible,"
Yeah.
it's humbling, but at the same time, it's encouraging. It makes you feel like I know that we can do this for people. I know people will appreciate it, and then sometimes you have to show it to them before they really understand what is happening. They
Right.
can hear about it,
Yeah.
but hearing about it and seeing it is two different things. So I just like the opportunities to bring people together so they can understand, so they can see it, and again appreciate what we really have when we talk about our community. Yeah.
So this year it's going to be more exciting plan as
Yes.
far as the Save Max Pan Canada game is concerned.
Yes.
And I would love to have this beautiful. Let me have a look at it. Wow, look at.
Yeah.
It says
Yes.
Save Max Pan Canada Games, and
Yes.
look at the another
Yeah.
Save Max Pan Canada Games.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing?
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
So full
Yeah.
excitement is on.
Excitement is on. NBA players, professional NBA players in the house.
Yeah.
Professional, for the people who love TFC, I love soccer. And also, we made history in that Canada's Olympic or their FIFA team, all right?
Yes.
They, of course, qualified, right? They qualified last year. They did quite well considering that we hadn't been there since the 80s, right?
Right.
And so the prospect of having one or two members from that FIFA team in the house, or in this instance on the field, that's really exciting, and I think the kids will appreciate it. Yeah.
That's right, absolutely. And guys, stay tuned with us for Save Max Pan Canada Games 2023. Last year we had more than 500 participants who,
Oh, yeah.
more than 500 athletes who participated into all the activities, and there were a couple of Olympians.
Yes, Olympians.
Playing
Amazing.
in badminton,
Yeah.
and there were like amazing match done with the Pilpolis for the soccer.
Yes.
Though Team Save Max lost, and
yes.
I think we need to catch Halim for that.
Yes,
But
yes,
it's
yes.
okay.
Yeah, it was close. The game was close, and it was exciting. The game,
was
the
exciting,
game
yeah.
was close, and it was exciting. And I
Yeah.
think that there's a few surprises. So the word is on the streets, right? There's a few surprises up the sleeves of the planners for this year's Save Max Pan Canada Games. And
Fantastic.
so, as much as I tell people that you see what's online, is it www.savemax/ is it
Games.
games?
Yes,
Okay.
SaveMax/games.
Yeah, SaveMax. Yeah.
SaveMax.com/games. Thank you, Farbod.
Yeah. All right. And so I think that, as much as what you see that is marketed, we
Yeah.
also have, I always say, you never know who might just show up. You didn't know they were going to be there. Of course, the giveaways, we didn't even talk about the amazing giveaways. And I know that a lot of people still, until this day, up until today,
Yeah.
are talking about how much fun they had last year. And
Yes.
especially it helps when you win stuff, right?
Yep.
That increases the fun and community and performances. There were some amazing performances last year that we saw. And of course, Peter Cash from Chum 104.5, he was one of our hosts, and he's committed. He's back this year, Peter Cash, and of course Patricia Jagannath, famed CP24 weather girl, and of course Emmy award-winning television personality, along with a host of some of the most talented youth. Basketball, soccer, cricket, badminton, everything that is community. You know, Raman, I'm a pretty good badminton player too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got a little bit of skill. I'm all right.
Yeah, so guys, stay tuned with us. This was Kerry Lee Crawford with us today, and I'm pretty sure you might have enjoyed the discussion, especially when we talk about youth, when we talk about sports, when we talk about community. We need to find out more leaders who can give the right direction to youth.
Right.
And Kerry, what I do, I keep doing a lot of these seminars and sessions. On April 28th, I'm doing an amazing session for students, for the new immigrants, where we are going to talk a lot about how you can establish yourself in this beautiful country.
Wow.
Because this country has given us a lot.
Opportunities.
And I think this is a time for us to say thanks to those who supported us when I came here in this country as an immigrant.
Yeah.
And this is what my way of saying thanks to them, where I can support new immigrants. I can give them some learnings, what I have done in my life. And I'm pretty sure that's how we make our life better.
If I may be so bold as to thank you. I think that, some people, they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. But the Save Max family, you just see they're so present. The commitment that you guys have made to the community and to the people who actually are actively out there making a difference, words cannot describe how much they appreciate it. Sometimes they'll come up to me and they'll see Save Max, they'll see me and say, "Oh, you guys did the Save Max. Oh man, tell them thank you. Oh, it's so incredible." The kids, I always tweet. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Steps After Dark at Kerry Lee Crawford. We post a lot of the pictures. When we give them the Save Max T-shirts, you can see the pictures. You can see the joy on their face. You can see we're entering a team this year, or we're trying out for a team that's playing in the Save Max Pan Canada games, and we're going to see you this year, coach. And I'm like, okay, well, you keep on working.
Yeah.
You keep on striving, and I hope that we do see you there
Absolutely.
this year. Yeah, so thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate, guys. Stay tuned with us. We are going to bring more interesting topics for you. Stay tuned. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay positive, and keep following us for more. I love you all.